A case of extreme animal cruelty has sent shockwaves through a community. It involves the alleged killing of a defenseless chihuahua puppy. The method described is one of unimaginable horror. The puppy was allegedly placed inside a hot oven. Give a like and subscribe. Leave a comment. This shocking incident has led to an arrest. The suspect is identified as James Williamson. He is 44 years old. Williamson resides in Atmore, Alabama. He has been taken into custody by authorities. He faces a serious charge. The charge is aggravated cruelty to animals. This offense is classified as a felony. Specifically, it is a Class C felony under state law. Details surrounding the incident paint a disturbing picture. The event allegedly took place on May 19th. It occurred at Williamson's residence. The alleged motive behind this act was frustration. It stemmed from the puppy's barking. Williamson allegedly made a threat. He allegedly threatened to put the dog in the oven. Tragically, he is accused of following through on that threat. He allegedly placed the puppy inside the oven. He then allegedly turned the oven on. To prevent escape, he allegedly placed a chair against the oven door. Neighbors reported hearing distressing sounds. They heard yelping. The sounds came from inside the home. These cries of distress alerted others. Authorities were subsequently called to the scene. Police officers arrived to investigate. Upon arrival, they made a grim discovery. They found the deceased puppy. The puppy was found outside the home. It was located in the driveway. The small animal was suffering from severe burns. The condition of the puppy was horrific. Sergeant Daryl McMahon of the Atmore Police Department was involved in the case. Sergeant McMahon witnessed the aftermath firsthand. He described his reaction to the scene. Sergeant McMahon expressed profound horror. He stated he needed a moment to compose himself. The sight was deeply disturbing. He described the alleged act in stark terms. He called it horrible and inhumane. Sergeant McMahon's personal connection to the breed added to his distress. He personally owns a chihuahua. Sergeant McMahon voiced a strong opinion regarding the legal system. He believes current penalties for such crimes are insufficient. He suggested that the law should be strengthened. He feels the Class C felony charge does not adequately address the level of cruelty displayed. Williamson was taken into custody following the discovery. He was placed under a $15,000 bond. If convicted, he will face consequences beyond potential prison time. He will face a prohibition from owning animals. This case has understandably sparked outrage. It has led to widespread calls for action. There are calls for stricter laws. There are demands for harsher punishments for animal cruelty offenses. This case tragically highlights a critical need. It underscores the need for greater protection for vulnerable animals. The details of this case are difficult to comprehend. The alleged actions against a small, helpless puppy are profoundly disturbing. The idea that frustration could escalate to such extreme violence is chilling. The puppy's alleged suffering inside a hot oven is a horrifying thought. Witnesses hearing the yelping adds another layer of tragedy. It speaks to the agony the animal may have endured. The discovery of the puppy's body, burned and lifeless, is heartbreaking. It is a stark reminder of the vulnerability of animals. They rely entirely on humans for their safety and well-being. The response from law enforcement, particularly Sergeant McMahon, reflects the gravity of the situation. His description of needing to compose himself speaks volumes. It shows the emotional toll such cases take even on experienced officers. His personal connection to the breed makes his reaction relatable to many pet owners. It underscores that animals are not property. They are companions. They are capable of feeling pain and fear. The alleged act was not just destruction of property, it was the infliction of extreme suffering on a living being. The legal aspect of this case brings important questions to the forefront. Is a Class C felony charge truly adequate for such a heinous act? Sergeant McMahon's view that current penalties are insufficient resonates with many. Animal cruelty is often linked to other forms of violence. Studies have shown a correlation between animal abuse and domestic violence or other violent crimes. Treating animal cruelty with the seriousness it deserves is crucial. It is not just about protecting animals. It's also about recognizing a potential warning sign for broader societal issues. The $15,000 bond set for Williamson has also been a point of discussion. For many, this amount seems low given the severity of the alleged crime. It raises questions about how the legal system values animal lives. Should the bond reflect the level of suffering inflicted? Should it reflect the public outrage and the need for accountability? These are questions being asked by concerned citizens and animal advocates. The potential prohibition from owning animals if convicted is a necessary measure. However, it does little to address the pain and suffering already inflicted. This case serves as a tragic example of why stronger animal protection laws are needed. Many states have varying degrees of penalties for animal cruelty. Some classify aggravated cruelty as a felony, as in this case. However, the sentencing guidelines can still be lenient. Fines and relatively short prison sentences may not deter future acts of cruelty. Advocates argue for mandatory minimum sentences. They call for higher felony classifications for acts involving torture or extreme violence. They push for psychological evaluations and mandatory counseling for offenders. The public reaction to this case has been swift and strong. Social media platforms are filled with expressions of grief and anger. Pet owners hug their own animals a little tighter. Animal lovers are galvanized to speak out. Petitions are often started in response to such cases. They demand maximum penalties for the accused. They call for legislative changes. This collective voice is powerful. It puts pressure on lawmakers to act. It reminds them that animal welfare is a priority for their constituents. The true crime aspect of this case draws attention from a different audience. It highlights the dark side of human behavior. It explores the motivations behind such horrific acts. While focusing on the crime itself, it also serves to educate. It informs this audience about the realities of animal abuse. It can turn casual observers into advocates. It can broaden the base of support for animal protection efforts. Raising awareness about cases like this is vital. It pulls the issue of animal cruelty out of the shadows. It forces people to confront the reality that such atrocities occur. Awareness campaigns can educate the public on the signs of animal abuse. They can provide resources for reporting suspected cruelty. They can empower individuals to take action. Informing the public is the first step towards change. Advocating for change is the next crucial step. This involves contacting legislators. It means supporting organizations that lobby for stronger animal laws. It includes participating in rallies or awareness events. It requires sustained effort. Change does not happen overnight. It requires persistence and dedication from many people. The outrage generated by this case must be channeled into constructive action. Legal reform is the ultimate goal for many advocates. This means reviewing existing laws. It involves identifying loopholes or weaknesses. It requires drafting new legislation. It necessitates convincing lawmakers to pass these bills. Reform could include increasing penalties. It could expand the definition of cruelty. It could allocate more resources for enforcement. It could establish animal abuse registries. These are all potential avenues for strengthening legal protections. Making cases like this go viral serves a purpose. While the details are painful, widespread sharing ensures the story reaches a large audience. It amplifies the call for justice. It mobilizes people to sign petitions or contact officials. It keeps the pressure on authorities to pursue the case vigorously. It also serves as a cautionary tale. It reminds everyone of the importance of treating animals with kindness and respect. The emotional impact of this case cannot be overstated. For anyone who has loved a pet, the thought of such suffering is unbearable. Animals offer unconditional love and companionship. They are innocent beings. To inflict such pain on them is a profound betrayal of trust. The emotional response drives the desire for justice. It fuels the demand for accountability. It strengthens the resolve to prevent future tragedies. This incident in Atmore, Alabama, is not an isolated event. Cases of severe animal cruelty occur with alarming frequency across the country. Each case is a tragedy. Each case represents a failure to protect the most vulnerable. They highlight systemic issues. These issues include inadequate laws, insufficient enforcement, and a lack of public awareness. Addressing these issues requires a multifaceted approach. Lawmakers have a critical role to play. They hold the power to enact meaningful change. They can strengthen laws. They can allocate funding for animal welfare agencies. They can ensure that judges have the tools to impose appropriate sentences. They must listen to their constituents. They must recognize that protecting animals is a moral imperative. It is also a reflection of a just and compassionate society. Pet owners have a responsibility. They must provide care and protection for their animals. They must also be vigilant. They should report suspected abuse. They should support efforts to strengthen animal laws. Their personal connection to animals gives them a powerful voice. They understand the bond between humans and animals. They know the pain of loss. Animal activists are on the front lines. They work tirelessly to rescue animals. They investigate cruelty cases. They lobby for legislative change. They educate the public. They are often the voice for those who cannot speak for themselves. Their dedication is essential. They need the support of the public and lawmakers. The general public has a role too. They can be informed citizens. They can support animal welfare organizations. They can report suspected abuse. They can advocate for stronger laws. They can choose to adopt animals rather than buy them. They can treat all animals with kindness. Every individual action contributes to a larger culture of compassion. The true crime audience, while drawn to the details of the case, can also contribute. Their interest can be a gateway to understanding the broader issues of animal abuse. They can learn about the links between animal cruelty and other crimes. They can become advocates for stronger laws and better enforcement. Their engagement can help shine a light on these hidden horrors. The case of the Chihuahua puppy in Atmore is a stark reminder of the darkness that exists. It is a call to action for everyone who cares about animals. It demands that we look closely at our laws. It requires us to question if they truly reflect our values. It compels us to advocate for change. It urges us to protect the innocent. The memory of this puppy's suffering should fuel our determination. We must work towards a future where such acts are unthinkable. We must ensure that justice is served, not just in this case, but for all animals who suffer at the hands of humans. The fight for stronger animal protection laws is ongoing. Cases like this underscore its urgency. We must not look away. We must act.